What's going on YouTube? It's fineokay, and today I'm bringing you guys another in-review video, this time of a Ratatoskr gameplay in the solo lane. This was from the other day. I was just streaming, listening to music, not talking or anything like that. So I figured it was a perfect gameplay I could use for an in-review, even though I'm not going completely try-hard, 100%, and kind of messing around, typing every once in a while, and my frames were dropping pretty bad this game. I still made a lot of mistakes that I could improve on and you guys could learn from. So with that being said, we'll get right into the gameplay. I'm going to be playing Rat into Kokolin. So this should be a matchup that I should lose. Kokolin should outpressure in this matchup if he knows how to play it correctly. But I will go ahead and tell you that this game I do get a lead in solo lane. My team, however, kind of falls behind, but we do have opportunities to win this game. But we end up losing it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that we lose this game. Not to be a spoiler, but just so that you guys know, so that we can learn stuff from it. Because with these gameplays, it's not so much about the entertainment of the gameplay, and more about learning from it and learning from mistakes. So yeah, I'm going to be building Warrior's Blessing. I think Warrior's Blessing is really good. Something with Ratatoskr that you always have to think about is that you can buy your acorn from the lane. So I just hovered over it there just to just to see. So if they don't back for their full power spike while you can buy your acorn in lane, then you have a lot of potential to get a solo kill, and there's just a lot of power play there. And I was just making sure that he wasn't going to proxy the wave, or at least hit the wave with his one. I was just standing there to make sure. Right now I'm tanking the archers and it looks like a melee as well, because I have the AoE autos and I have plenty of pots. I decided to go a lot of pots this game just because, like I said, I should be getting kind of owned in this matchup, so I need those pots for extra sustain. Right there, that was a little bit weird of me to use my 2 on him for poke. It just was going to stack his rage even more, which is kind of bad, and also I need the 2 for this buff. I'll end up getting it up anyway, but just a little min-maxing there that we could have fixed. He decides to transform on that wave. Not really decides, he kind of has to, because he only has 1 ability, rank, because he's level 1. So we'll get a lot of pressure on that, but that's fine. I'll just go grab my blue. It looks like Mercury decided to do a different start where he went to our red buff instead of helping with blue, which is fine because I'm Ratatoskr, so it's not the worst thing in the world. That was a little awkward right there. I was trying to buy my acorn, but I was getting hit by the archer, so it wasn't allowing me to. I'm pretty sure putting Rat in combat allows him not to buy his acorn. So right there, I'm just hitting him with my 3 so I can aggro the wave, group up the wave, because I have my 2, which is AoE, and also have my AoE autos. Looks like we're already down 0-2. Like I said, this is where my team gets behind, but as far as me and solo, I kind of get a lead and do pretty well in the matchup that I shouldn't be doing well in. I'm just able to outclear him because I was able to group up the wave. He's not transforming on the wave yet. He is now, but I still have a lot of poke on him that it shouldn't matter too much. I should still be able to box into him okay. That was a little awkward. If I had dodged the 1 there, just kept my spacing, made sure I wasn't in range of the 1, and then dashed on him, it would have been a lot better, because I wouldn't have taken that unnecessary poke, and he would just be in a much worse spot. But already I have a power spike on him, right? Because I have the 10 power and extra movement speed for my acorn, my tier 2 acorn. So I need to make use of that. And I've already had him poked out, so I just need to keep up the pressure. I know his jump is down right here, so I'm just going to walk up and auto. I still have plenty of pots to make use of. And I just need to make sure that I'm consistently proccing my Warrior's Blessing. I know if I dash on him there, I have enough movement speed to get out of tower and only take 1 tower shot. And I just want to make it super awkward for him to back. It's really weird to back right now with that low of health, because you want to come in with full boots, but at this point you could probably only afford tier 2. So that's kind of the issue right now. And if I just keep stopping his back, I just keep making it awkward for him to get the gold from the minions. So that's kind of the point there. I know he has teleport, so he's going to teleport back into lane. So something you have to be careful of here is he can refresh his health chalice when he TPs back in. A little awkward there for me to dash out, because I'm not going to get credit for that minion. I end up having to go back to get credit for it, so that was a bad min-max by me. I know that they don't really have too much kill potential on me with my dash up, so I'm just kind of walking up to it. Make sure I get credit for those minions. Shouldn't have dashed out to begin with, though. This is a little bit awkward because their Camizots could have definitely invaded my blue. I guess they didn't have eyes on Mercury, so they didn't want to, invade that if Mercury would come over and maybe get a kill. But something you have to be wary of is if they get pressure on a wave, especially if they like 2-mana wave, in solo, they can easily walk to your blue when it spawns, because it's only a 2-minute spawn timer. Lost a little bad min-max there. I lost a minion to tower for no reason. However, I do have my full acorn now. Only issue is I don't have any more of my health chalice, and I'm kind of low on mana. So I decided I'll just take my back now. His TP's down. I know he only has tier 2 boots, so I'm going to have the power play anyway. So I decided that I'll back and just TP him with pots. Because I just backed and TP'd in, I decided that I'll get some poke on him because I have plenty of pots to sustain up. I have my acorn for sustain. So I decided to go on him. I kind of played it a little bit bad because I dashed on him when I should have kept my dash up just so I could dash out of his ult. But he ends up using his ult. I don't mind taking this trade though. If I hit that dash right there, this is a guaranteed kill pretty much no matter what. I should still be able to get the kill. I was dropping frames a lot this game, so I was just missing my dashes and getting frustrated because of it. There's another one. And then see, I'm shaking my screen because I'm like actually frustrated about it, getting a little tilted. But you just gotta, keep your head in the game and not worry too much about missing these abilities. I end up getting the kill anyway just because he kind of played it pretty rough. See, I'm typing to myself or to my stream that I'm just frustrated from the frame issues, but that's no big deal. We ended up getting the kill anyway, and that's, like I said, it's just from the power play. He had tier 2 boots, I had tier 3. I have much more movement speed, much more power. He had just used his ult and his transformation, something that I actively forced because of the way I played, right? I backed, got my chalice refreshed, and I also bought more pots, so I just had the sustain there that I needed to. I know his TP's down, so I can maybe look for a play on blue. What I'm doing here is I keep turning around to see where Camazotz is. So I'm able to get the blue, but I know that they could full commit on me, so I'm going to have to ult out immediately. So that's just something you can look to do when you're invading or maybe doing your own blue and you think they're going to invade you, is to just constantly be turning around to look where, if somebody's coming, whatever, what's going on around you, just to make sure you have the perfect timing on that blue. And because I did that and was able to see where people were, I was able to out-secure them on the blue and just get out. I did have 2 pots left, so I decided to pop both of them so I can regen back to full health in lane, because I don't want to back yet. So I decided that I'll just pop those pots, let myself heal up, and just play back, let them get pressure on this wave. No big deal. So far, this laning phase is going pretty well for me. I'd actually say pretty amazing for Ratatoskr and Kukulkan. I do think it's not the worst matchup, obviously, and I think Rat's pretty viable in solo, but it's just, if it's a good Kukulkan, he should be able to bully you pretty hard. So I'm 2 levels on him, so I'm not really afraid of going under the wave. We force his ult, which is fine. I call it out to my team. Enemy ultimate down. He's get his transformation, so obviously don't want to fight into that, so we'll just play back a little bit. Something you notice that is when Kukulkan's transform between the waves is most of the time what they want to do when the wave comes up is one it and then ult it, which is what he's about to do. And I know that, so I just keep my distance from it so I don't take damage from it. And then after, I decide to box him because I know he's going to deform soon. I know his regular ultimate's down. Looks like Mercury's coming over for a gank, so I'm just going to keep playing aggressive. Bad use of my 3 there. I knew he was going to jump immediately after my dash, so should just hold the 3 there, no problem. Didn't get the damage off. Wouldn't have got the stun because he's going to create the spacing for the stun, but it's still worth noting that I could have got the damage off. Should have last hit that there, don't know why I didn't. But I have 1900 gold. Something I wanted to build was Glad Shield. Perfect buy for that. I can grab some wards too, which I do. I was just thinking in my head that I should grab wards there. Not really so much for me because I'm pretty safe with my lead and my ultimate. Just for my team, I can give information for my team with my wards and such. I ward their blue just to see if he was on it, and he was. And it just covers a path that he can come in. So Kukulkan just TP back in as well. I have a full Glad Shield. I know just based on the math so far, there's no way he has full boots and a full Glad Shield. So he just TP back in. So my job is to immediately poke him again, make sure that he's pressured out of the lane. So now I just have a lead in the lane again, just because he was clearing the wave and I was just poking him out, right? Decide that while I'm dropping the blue, I'll ult, and it's just going to land on me. And I decided to go on him. I guess he heard me or saw me. Probably saw me, which is fine. He jumped over my ult. If I had hit my ult there, I would have had a lot more damage here. Missed my stun as well. I was just dropping frames here as well, so I was getting frustrated again. But we force his ult. Ult for ult, not the worst thing. I do have CDR and he doesn't. We both have blue buff for our ults as well, so we both had the 10%, but then I had the 10% extra from Glad Shield. But not the worst trade ever, right? Because his TP's down and mine is also down, but at least I'm the one with full health. So yeah, we're able to pressure out his tower here. I don't really want to grab this tower. I might have been able to commit to that. Probably not. But even if I could have, I wouldn't have wanted to, really. I want to keep his tower up so I can keep pushing waves under tower, keep, out pressuring him and making sure that he's losing gold to tower. Because something else to think about is I don't want to push incredibly far up to get my waves. I like meeting the waves right in the middle of the lane. And I want to be able to do that if the tier 1 was dead and they were all the way at his tier 2. I guess on Rat it wouldn't be as big of an issue, just because I can ult out, but that's still, not the best situation. There's nothing for me to do. I'm just proxying waves because Colin can't stop me. I'm so far ahead now that he can't stop me. And I'm just getting my waves pushed. So I'm looking for things to do in the jungle. I take their back camps, go push another proxy wave, and then I go back and check to see if their speed is up, and it is. Looks like blue spawned as well. I noticed that the team's coming over though, so I'm going to try and full commit to this and then get out. Ends up getting the steal, but I saw Morgan coming around the map, so my plan was to just try and get it and then ult out. But the issue was I had so little mana that I couldn't 2 and 3 the buff and ult out, so I had to save my mana. So that was the issue there. I would have been able to get it if I had enough mana there and gotten out safe. So just a little unfortunate mana issue there. We did force the Camazot's rotation to get it though, so that's fine. Allows my team to play up elsewhere. So that's something to think about, right? Is even though my team's kind of getting owned a bit, we're basically tied in gold, but it's because of me. I'm pretty sure I'm probably like 1.5k ahead in this lane. So for me to be like that far ahead and for us to be only basically tied in gold, it's pretty rough for the rest of my team. I noticed that the Camazot's coming, but they don't really have any kill potential on me. Just basically what I've been doing this game is just farming non-stop until my TP is back up. Backing, getting those items, and TPing back in. I mean, on a god like Ratatoskr, you're never missing out on any farm. And one of the things this game is, like, I hit level 20 at like 19 minutes, maybe something like that, 19 minutes. And I end up losing the game. And that's why I wanted to talk about this game specifically, is just because I think it has something to do with this season and the fact that solos don't make as much of an impact in ranked. Unless like they're playing like a super late game team fight character. But like unless you snowball the game with your lead, it's going to be rough for you, and it's going to get to a point where their carries are going to be doing a lot. And I also make some mistakes, like I said, build-wise, gameplay-wise, that we could have fixed up and it would have helped us win the game. So anyway, a little rant there. Just, basically outpoking him solely because of my item lead and also because of my level lead. I can kind of just sit under tower. Useless tanking of the tower right there. I don't know why I did that. I just want to keep messing with him, so I'm going to blink on him, make sure he isn't able to back. But I end up getting the kill here, which is cool. Don't really have to worry about this tower too much. I still have my ult up, so if I get ganked, I'll just ult out. End up cleaning up the kill there. Something that we need to note real quick is that I decided to go blink this game, but trying out blink on a lot of characters as opposed to like Thorns. Because people are building the pen kin size build now. So Thorns isn't as good as it was before with crit. Able to invade his blue, obviously, because he's dead. Getting the tower as well. At this point in the game is where I'd probably grab the tower, give some global gold to my team, help him out a bit. But anyway, so I've been just trying to outblink a little bit, so that's why I decided to go blink this game. I do think the late game would have been a lot better if I had gone Thorns, but I've been trying out blink a lot, and it just makes it rough for their carries. If I blink on them, I don't have to use my dash or my ult to initiate, and then if they use their escape, I can immediately ult or immediately dash on them. And obviously, when you're a tanky character, you're just building full tank. If you blink on them, it's going to be hard for them to full commit on you. It's a little different for somebody who's building full damage jungle. I mean, they do get a lot of damage off, but sometimes they can get immediately turned on, Little silly of me to go on him here. I think I should just push the wave. Not really worried about him too much. I was afraid of him trying to make a rotation. But yeah, definitely just worry about pushing your waves first and foremost, even with a lead. Unless it's like obvious, you can out-trade them super hard or get a kill. But if they're like walking into the jungle, don't just randomly follow them even though you have a lead. Like make sure you just push your waves. So he makes a full rotation over to left, and this is what I'm talking about. One of the mistakes I made this game, I think, is focusing too much on farm and not making a bigger impact on the game, because they have 11, they're up 12-7 in kills. I mean, we're tied in gold because of my lead, but like if I'm not doing anything with my lead besides like pushing my lane, making sure that I'm like owning the solo laner, you know, I'm not going to have as much of an impact on the game. And because of that rotation, they're able to pull Gold Fury. Don't remember exactly what happens here. I did make the conscious decision to go for this tower. I said just, you know, enemy missing, retreat. I'm going to try and go for this tower, right? And I noticed that Morgan was there, so I decided to dash in her and see if my Mystical Mail will take out her Invis. That's why I go Mystical Mail this game, in fact. It's because they have a Morgan, and Morgan gets kind of owned by Mystical Mail, and no way for her to really use her 3 when I'm on her. But it's good of this Morgan to come and defend this tier 2. If nobody was there, I would have been able to get it. I know that I can probably kill her here. Her ult's down, and I have quite a bit of sustain. I just need to make sure I'm not getting hit by too many of her 2s and such. And I know that she's trying to come up here. I don't have the audio showing, but if I had the audio, you would know that I'm like playing based off of her her 3s and stuff. So we're just doing a little dance here to go for blue. I know that she's not gonna have enough damage to kill me without her ult, so I decided to bait her in, and we end up getting the kill. Even though it's a little bit it was a little bit sketchy because my frames dropping right there. It was hard for me to hit my autos. We end up getting the kill. It was definitely calculated. So. Yeah, we didn't make the impact on the other side of the map. They ended up not getting gold, which is good, but we ended up not getting the tier 2, but we did trade out a kill for it, and I was able to kill Morgan. So all in all, I would say it was worth. However, if they had been able to full commit to that gold, had they gotten more kills than left somehow, it would probably not have been as good, and I probably should have rotated over. And I knew that Kukulkan was rotating over, right? He kind of just was like, all right, I'm pushing this wave, don't really care about the next one. I'm going straight to duo lane from solo lane, which is a really weird rotation. And if we were in comms, like if I were in comms with my team, I'd be like, okay, all you guys have to do is back up. This is a pointless rotation. No way for them to really do anything. I'm just going to push right. There's no way they can't stop. There's no way anybody can 1v1 me in right, for one. And also there's no way for them to not defend it. Like they're going to have to defend it or lose the tier 2 gold, which is the equivalent of a Gold Fury. So maybe even more at this point, not really sure. But yeah, but I'm still kind of doing this thing where I'm just focusing on farming, missing my dashes because I'm a noob. And you know, I'm 5 levels up. I can really push my lead and do whatever I want in this lane. But the issue is I need to try and transfer my lead to other sides of the map. In ranked, it's a much easier, I'd say, than other times to transfer your lead to make sure you're making an impact. But sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. I'm stealing their farm. I've only stolen 1 speed buff, which isn't that great. What I should be doing is making sure that I'm pushing my wave super hard, like over here, maybe even proxying, like at their Phoenix. And then going over towards mid, pushing those waves, and then ulting over to dual lane fights or Gold Fury fights or anything like that. The issue is they've been fighting a lot in duo. My dual lane's a little bit behind, both of them. They've been fighting a lot over there, and it's really rough for a solo lane to be all the way at a dual lane fight. So I noticed that Morgan invises, and I heard her go this way. That's why I blinked that way. It wouldn't have been an issue if I just didn't miss my dash, but I had to try and make the outplay by blinking on her invis because I missed my dash. So I know that we can go for Gold Fury here. We have Neath and Morgan dead. Colin's not going to be an issue. So I decided that I'm going to zone out Kama, make sure he's not doing anything crazy, and go get farm elsewhere. So we did net a Gold Fury off of that rotation, so that's good. So we ended up being about 1.7k ahead now. 18 minutes in the game, that's not really a big deal. That's not really gonna do much, but it is something. I am very close to level 19 or level 20, and it's only 18 minutes in the game, so that's something to think about as well. So my farm this game has been really good. Looks like I'll hit 20 on this wave. Yes, I will. So 18 minutes in the game, I hit level 20. That's pretty good. On a fast character like Rat, that's not crazy, especially with teleport and stuff. Still a lot of their blue buffs and such, their back camps, so it makes a whole lot of sense. However, since I am level 20, the first level 20 in the game, the only person that's as close to me is Thoth and Camazotz, and they're both 3 levels below me. I need to make sure, well, first of all, I need to back and buy my items, but I need to make sure that I try and make an impact right now, like right here, right now. I don't remember what exactly I do, but I guess we'll see. I decided I'm going into Masmune here. The build path is pretty standard. Glad Shield's just good on Rat. Miskull, I like it more again. It's just a good item. Good damage item. Highly Urchin, pretty standard. Masmune is a little bit different. It's more damage. I don't think you have to go more damage on Rat to make an impact. I just wanted to try it this game and see how it worked out. I thought I'd be able to kind of solo their Morgan and such with just these items. We did force his ult here, and it looks like his teleport as well. I don't not really too sure why he did that. It was kind of troll, but we did force his teleport and his ult. But forcing that kind of stuff just doesn't matter at this point in the game. Maybe his TP a little bit more than his ult, but like I should be forcing things on the other characters, and I kind of noticed that, and it was like I have this huge lead, and we end up being 3k ahead right now, which is good. That's a pretty good lead. I don't know exactly how we did that, but I make this ridiculously stupid play on Morgan. So I blink in, stun her, get her actives, but then they full commit on me with Athena Taunt. Actually, it wouldn't have been that bad of a play had I blinked in, stunned her, got her actives, and immediately dashed out, but I turned around thinking that I could do more, and that was just overconfident of me and silly. Definitely a ranked play there. I was just trying to make a play, see if we can get a kill, and then maybe we can force something else. But that was really silly of me. I was a lot of our lead, so now instead of being 3k ahead, we're only 2k ahead. Dueling gets gone, or I guess Huyi gets gone on and kind of gets owned. I'm pretty sure that just said he was 1-8. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, Huyi's 1-8, so that's that's definitely going to be an issue this game. Even though I mean it already is. He's only a level behind though, so that's kind of crazy. But I did force out the Morgan active, so we did get something out of that at least. But it's definitely not worth it for me to just throw my lead like that. Like I said, I'm the first level 20 in the game. I should be making an impact, making sure that I'm helping out my team. Not that they are the reason I'm level 20, maybe a little bit, but yeah. So look at this chain reaction, right? I die, then Dueling dies, and they're pushing a tier 1, then they're diving us in mid. This dive I'm not really too sure about, but we probably won't be able to punish them for it unless the Oth gets a crazy amount of damage off. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get out. They didn't med him. I missed my dash as well. Just missed a lot of dashes this game based on the frame drops and stuff. But we're not going to be able to punish them for it. So that's one way to quickly gain a lead and then quickly throw your lead. And most of that's on me, right? Most of that's just me being super overzealous and trying to make an impact when we just need to, calm down and just play it out slowly. However, they're being a little overzealous as well right now, so we can probably get some kills. They stayed a little bit too long. They were able to get out with making a few silly plays, and then they come back in and make even more silly plays, so that's kind of the issue there. This is just, I saw Morgan that was going on Thoth, they were low, and I decided to blink on her, so that was easy cleanup for me. Usually I'm going to be going on their carries, and that was basically it. But I decided that Athena was a free kill there. She had just dashed off of my abilities and stuff, so we can just kill her. Is the game froze? Oh, okay, it's because I alt-tabbed. But because of all those kills and them overstaying, throw after throw, we realized that we can pull FG here, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. This is definitely just a burn FG. I didn't have to zone. Sometimes you want to look to zone as a soul laner because they can't kill you, and you can, put a lot of damage on them, make sure that they stay out of the Fire Giant pit, and so they don't steal it. But right there, it was like they were never going to be able to get to it in time. And also we saw Kakolin on that ward, so we were kind of just chilling. So it was just, burn FG. And, your Rat 2 does shred protections, so it does help with the objective burn. This is quite a long game. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit just because of it just takes forever. And right now we have FG, and what we're trying to do is just push. I'm just pushing out my waves, making sure that I'm split pushing while I'm going to pause this real quick. Making sure I'm split pushing. Since I have a global ultimate, I can easily be over to the fight. And like I said before, nobody can 1v1 me. So basically what happens is Huyi dies randomly. We're trying to push, and when our ADC is dead, when we're trying to push with FG, that kind of sucks. It's not the biggest deal because we still can push. But look at what we're doing right now. Okay, so they have their tier 1 up in duo. They have 3 tier 2s up. We get a Neath kill, and now we're diving their support Athena, who's 1 HP, all the way to their fountain, while they split push tier 2s. Okay, I can't tell you how bad this is. This is the epitome of ranked plays. While it was happening, while I was even going in on this Morgan, I was like, what am I doing? This is so bad. So this is something you definitely shouldn't do. It wouldn't have been the worst thing ever had they not been split pushing. Had they all been here, the fight might have been much worse if they had been here. But they were able to get two tier 2s out of it, which is 3,000 overall gold for their team. Right? That's just insanity. We shouldn't have been diving like this. So even with the lead we had before, with getting FG and all that, we are now only ahead 1K. We still can clean up all the tier 2s like they had done. Kakolin's at our Phoenix, who he just spawned, so he's going to be the one defending that. He's not going to be able to get the Phoenix, thankfully, but this just shows you that you know, making those ranked plays and not just playing it safe and pushing, and making sure you're pushing out your waves in mid and solo, which I was doing, but then I had to back at some point. I couldn't be pushing out the waves forever. Make sure you just got to make sure you push out the waves so that they don't split push and get themselves back into the game. We do force out the camel ult and such. And I know that Morgan actives are down. She used both her actives there when we were diving her behind her Phoenix. So what I'm doing is just trying to look for her because she should just be a free kill. No way for her to do much. So a little silly of me though, right here. Even like I'm just looking for Morgan, but the safe play is to just push down the tier 2s and just play it disciplined, right? So he's just pushing up right. He did end up getting the kill on Kakolin, which is good. But had we had him for all of those pushes, we could have gone to Phoenix. We could have forced them to back off of the tier 2s because we could have pressured the Phoenixes a lot more. So him dying there was kind of rough. We only have 10 seconds left in our FG. I'm deciding to get a high ward just right here and continue to look for Morgan. Just trying to be a pain in the neck for her. But what we should do is just grab Pyro, grab Gold Fury, and then reset and be ready for next fire. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead. We already got Pyro. I start doing gold, and then Hui helps me with it. Okay, so we're back towards fire. So fire just spawned, right? We have 0 wards. I don't even have a ward, which is really bad. I should have bought a ward. That's a huge, huge ranked mistake. It's so important to have sentry wards and even regular wards around FG when it spawns. Even with a deficit, even with when you're not the team in the lead, and if you're the first to set up around FG, you have the power play. You have the game in your hands. So we have 1 sentry at fire right now. I don't have a sentry or a ward to place when I should. And one issue already with this team fight. Sorry, I keep pausing, but one issue with this team fight already is because we don't have wards, our 2 carries can't play up. They could play up, and I still think they should because we're up here. We have like a nice little front line going. Our Thoth should be looking for stuns with damage follow-up. Our Hui should be looking for stuns with damage follow-up. But our Ganesh and Thoth are already poked a bit, so that's rough. But if we're not the ones looking for the play here, we're going to get gone on. We're already poked. It's just going to be a bad fight. They already have the wards here to play up. So it's really awkward. I keep getting put in combat because I mystical mail. That's one thing to think about when you go mystical mail and blink. It's rough. But they're going on our team super hard, so I decide I have to go on their back line. I have to go on Morgan and Neath, or they're just going to own our front line. We did end up getting a kill on Kakolin, which is really nice. But they do a lot of damage to me. They were able to do a lot of damage to me in that short amount of time. So I had to ult out. But I was able to zone them for a little bit. But the issue is, I think with my build, I probably should have just gone a better build. I should have gone Mid-Guardian probably instead of Masamune, and something else other than Ansile, probably like a Bulwark of Hope or something. But because I didn't do that, they were able to do a lot of damage to me, and I can't really zone them out at this point in the game. They're starting to hit pretty hard. So I do think I end up switching my build up eventually. However, the issue there in review, and we can talk about it right now, is we need to set up at Fire Giant with wards. We need to play up with our wards. We need to make sure that we're looking for the initiation and such. Right here, I thought that they would be a little bit lower from FG after the fight, and decided that I'd try and look for like either a pick or a steal, but they just full committed on me on the edge of the Fire Giant. So that kind of sucks. And Mercury comes in too. So this is just like the waterfall effect of going towards FG when they're pulling it, and it's just one by one. You can even see it like we're doing it right now, and Hui's up next. He's up next in the slaughterhouse. But they are low, and FG's getting low, so he does look for the steal. Somehow he doesn't get it, so it was a little sketchy of them to look for this FG when he could have easily stolen it there. Um, but we do end up 2 of us dying, and they do end up getting FG, so that's another throw by us. Not as much as a throw by us, but more of a good play by them. They immediately set up FG. They were the ones looking for the initiation. Kakolin made a better impact in that fight than I did. Even though he died immediately, he was able to zone my entire team and make like a good initiation for his team. So even though I destroyed him in lane, made him like kind of useless for most of the game. It's gotten to the point where he's calling and he's in the team fights and he's making an impact, right? So that's kind of rough. Memento. So that was the issue with that team fight right there. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead. They have FG. They're gonna trying to push and such. Just make sure I don't skip anything. I'm pushing right because I know they're going for the tier 2 first. I know that I can just keep this wave push for a bit. However, we do need to defend the Phoenix, so I decided that I'm going to back. Kakolin's pushing mid right now. Smart by him, making sure they have their waves pushed to mid because that's their next target. But the thing about them pushing mid is I can easily push mid and come over with my ult. I still haven't sold my Moss Spinner and Sai, which is kind of rough. Need those defense items for these defenses and everything. Brother Man B is now following. Nice. Looks like they're just playing it slow. They still have FG for about, 60 seconds based on the timer at FG. You can see. Maybe a little bit longer. Looks like they're trying to push now. The mid waves push pretty far, so that's good for us. Don't know whether somebody goes and pushes it yet, but we'll see how they play out this team fight. Looks like Homie Faye is the Camazotz is pushing out mid. I need to make sure he doesn't. He can probably outdamage me pretty easily. He's a full pen jungler. Looks like they're going in though, right when Homie and Camazotz were in mid, which is pretty rough for them because they use their Morgan ult and they super overextend on the Phoenix and were able to get a pick on the Morgan after she deforms. She transformed to me, which is probably a smart target to initiate the fight with. However, I take a lot of damage there, ulting onto them. But we still have the power play. It's 4 versus 3. And we should be able to get a kill on Camazotz here. And we end up getting the kill. However, we're trading kills for it because Kakolin's kind of going ham. But so is Neith. Neith's doing a lot of damage here. And she ends up getting 2 kills. So it's actually a 3 for 3. They regened a lot and healed a lot with their FG and such. I wanted to try and defend the Phoenix there, so I blinked on the Neith. Didn't matter though, it was just the Phoenix was one shot, and even though I stunned her and tried to clear the minion wave, the Phoenix was dead before I did anything really. So you can see how little impact I'm really making in these fights. Kind of has something to do with the fact that I'm Ratatoskr, but I think it more has to do with my item decisions or choices, and also just how I'm playing the fights a little bit. But the good news is that we were able to only get 1 Phoenix down. We defended decently. We traded evenly for as far as kills go. But I still think we could have played a little bit better. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Still haven't sold my items. We end up killing Kakolin somewhere. Not really sure where. FG's coming up soon, but we decided we're giving up FG because we have the left Phoenix to worry about, so I can't be at the Fire Giant at this moment. I do have TP, but we also don't have wards. We do have the power play, but Kakolin has TP, so it's just weird to trying to defend, especially without the wards. They'll just look for kills before they actually try and commit to it. But yeah, like the main issue is that we don't have our Phoenix up, so somebody has to defend the fireways. And of course the Kakolin has TP, and what he ends up doing is TPing into here. So they're looking for the mid Phoenix. 35 minutes into the game, sold my my Ansile for Bulwark of Hope, which is good, but I still think I should have Midgardian in place of Moss Mini. I think I eventually trade that out, but what's crazy about this game is I got my Hide Urchin pretty early on, and I still don't have it stacked, just because I haven't really made too much of an impact in the game. Haven't been a part of too many fights and such. So I'm just making sure this left wave stays pushed. It's a fire wave, so I gotta be careful. Decided to test to see whether I do enough damage to Camazotz if he outtrades me, and he does. He outtrades me pretty hard, so I noticed that. But we still have the fire wave to be careful about. I need to heal up just in case they try and full commit in mid. And it looks like they're trying to go hard, and they are. Camazotz blinks in. Camazotz in our back line, and he's the first target I see, so I decided to go on him. But we do need to defend the Phoenix, and it's a little bit rough because he's zoning out our entire team, or both of them are, while they're getting the Phoenix. Had I gone in on the Neath there, it might have been good. However, I probably would have died immediately, but they get a Phoenix anyway. And right there, you can't hear it, but Morgan went invis, and she had just gotten out of her camo ult. So I wanted to try and land on her to get her invis. That was just a showboat trying making a rank play, basically, when I could have easily gone on Neath and it would have been a lot better. It's probably what I should have done, but, you know, instead I tried to make the showboat rank play. But we're trading decently here. We ended up killing the Morgan and the Camazotz because they were going pretty ham. They were in their backline for a while. But they still have their Neath for sieging. So that's an issue, and they have 2 front lines. So we can't really chase out. It's not going to be that end up meaning all that much. Skip ahead a little bit. I don't think anybody died there. Okay, so we get our left Phoenix up. Our mid Phoenix is still down. Can't really defend fire with their Phoenix being down. Also, our jungle fight is just so much worse than theirs when they have Athena. They just get a taunt us and kind of own us. But our defense is really good with Thoth and Hui and such. So, and even I think even Ganesh is probably good at defending, just with his ult and stuff. So we're deciding that we're just going to give up FG and try and defend with our comp and with their comp, based on both of the comps. Skip ahead a little bit. So they're just going to get FG and try and push again. So basically what we're doing right now is just trying to farm up, get stuff before that happens. They're waiting for mid Phoenix to respawn. Looks like this will be the next fight. I'm pretty sure this is where I made one of the worst mistakes this game, and I recognized it immediately. But it's something we can talk about. I end up selling my or switching out my build a little bit as well. I get my Guardian now. I also have Mansell. So my build I'm full build now, which is really good. This is what I should have had all along, for the most part, I think. We're looking to get a free pick on this Morgan here, since she kind of out positioned. She got Thoth stunned. However, I hit her decoy with my stun, which was or my dash, which was unfortunate, and he decides to get on and just trying to make sure that he was actually running away. Decided to go on Neath with my ult because that's kind of the only person I had to go on. Unfortunate that we couldn't get the pick on Morgan there. And she ends up coming back in the fight, and I decided to run this way because I'm just trying to take them away from the Titan, because they probably can just end here. She comes back in, so it looks like Mercury just ulted and he hit nobody with it, so that kind of sucks. Not hitting anybody with Merkle, or not having an impact with Merkle in the last fight of the game is kind of rough. Decided to go on Neath here. Obviously need to go on Neath because she's going to do the most damage to the Titan. Just try and defend this. That's who I need to be going on, but they're just doing so much damage to me that it doesn't really matter. So they're just going to end the game. Could have probably zoned out Neath a little bit more there, or at least try to go on her more, even from half health. Don't really need to heal if you're just going to lose the game. You should just try and defend. And I just said that I could have carried that, and I think I could have. We kind of made a lot of rank plays, kind of got picked super randomly, didn't really push effectively because we were just like diving past their tier 2s and Phoenixes through a little bit while they were split pushing. We should have made sure we were pushing our way so that they couldn't split push. Should have we should have made sure we were pushing their way so that we don't get split pushed. Make sure we were just playing discipline and getting their tier 2s and such, and all that kind of that good stuff. And also I could have picked better targets and better times to ult in that in those fights. So yeah, that's basically in review for this Ratatoskr gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if it was a little overwhelming at times. I know I was talking a lot, but it was a long gameplay. I think I made quite a few mistakes, and I think we can learn a lot from it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another in review. Most likely I'll probably be doing one where I kind of just dominate the entire game and go like 11-0 or something on Coquelin, and I'm just going to talk about why I did everything and why I could do everything that I did. So yeah, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.